this is Tom, aka Rudy MVP. This is part 3 of the ADX, and up here I've got the US dollar index. And what I was talking about in the previous part 1 and part 2 is I look for the 1 to 3 good moves per year in a market. Since markets spend most of their time going sideways, I'm just on the hunt for those 1 to 3 big movers. And so let's look at some here, along with the ADX. Here we have the US dollar, and back here in May, it broke resistance. The ADX was falling during this whole time that US dollar was going sideways. ADX is falling. So a falling ADX most of the time means there's no trend. The only time that is not true is when markets reverse, and we'll get into that here in a minute. So a rising ADX means a trending market. Up or down, doesn't matter. The ADX will rise in a bull trend and in a bear trend. So the market breaks resistance here. The ADX, that blue line, turns up with it. Okay. So, and the market goes in a nice little run. Okay. The ADX hooks down right in this area, right in here, and telling you that the uptrend was over. And it wasn't exactly true because the market did go to new highs for a day or two, and then it was over. So you got two double hooks in the ADX, which is a very strong indicator that a major top or a major bottom is in the market. And that's what happened. The US dollar entered a bear market. Now the ADX wasn't really useful. Like I said, when the best trades with the ADX is when you're coming out of a sideways trading range. After it tops or bottoms, and if the market reverses directions from down to up or up to down, the ADX will miss that. Okay, it needs time to come back down and then go for the next trend. So when markets reverse, it'll help you pick tops or bottoms, but if you go into a bear market right after that, the ADX will turn south and you won't get anything out of it. So I will show a little bit later here how we deal with that when we combine it with the MACD divergence. So a rising ADX means a trending market. A falling ADX usually means non-trending, except when markets reverse. But then you don't get anything from the ADX anyway because it's just going to fall to try and establish itself down at the bottom and then go again. But let's keep this nice and simple and just look at sideways trading ranges. So it wasn't, the ADX picked the top over here in the US dollar, and then it went from uptrend to downtrend. And the ADX didn't get going until late, right in here. It caught a little bit of that, but it's not very useful when markets reverse. It'll tell you when to get out, but it won't help you in markets that go from up to down or down to up. Okay, so then the market started going sideways over here, and we got a pretty decent support level over here. Market breaks support. What's the ADX do? It opens up like a nice, it just opens up like a flower bud. These three lines here, even though I don't pay attention to those, but it just opens up. That blue line. And the market broke support. ADX goes with the breakout. We trend lower. ADX hooks down. Picks a bottom right in here. Right, yeah. Picks that bottom there. So we're out. Probably right in here. So, not a bad little trade there. And the market goes sideways. The market jabs into new lows, but it only lasted a day, and the ADX didn't even get going. And the market started an uptrend. But the ADX kept falling because, like I said, when markets reverse from down to up or up to down, the ADX is kind of worthless in those situations. It's out of the sideways markets that the ADX is really good, when breaking an important support or resistance level, like in here and over in here. So let's look at another market here. We got cotton. Cotton. This is a chart that's been really bunched up because of the huge move in cotton, but there's money to be made in between here and here. This, I believe, between these two, this is a $3,000 move between here and here. So the markets have been scrunched together. So let's look at this market here. We got cotton, which had been going sideways forever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And then all of a sudden, cotton breaks out right here. The ADX goes with it. And we had a little bit of a setback. It's kind of hard to see on this chart because of the way it's scrunched up. But then the ADX did hook down and we got out. But then the ADX went to new highs again. And the market went to new highs again. The ADX rose with it. It also went to new highs. That is a signal that this market is pretty bullish. And that's what happened. Let's see, cotton rose up in here, and the ADX hooked down, telling me there was a top. There was a top in cotton. Now it was a top, but it wasn't the top. About 3 weeks later, cotton breaks out into new highs again. Sometimes, the ADX will play with you a little bit. It'll give you false hook downs, but then go to new highs. The best way that I know to conquer that is just to swallow your pride and just shrug your shoulders and say, well, market wants to go again, I guess, And then we had a nice run. Even through this, and even through these pullbacks here, these are pretty good reactions here. The ADX just kept going and going and going. And then when it finally hooked down right here, it actually hooked down on this day, but I trade end of day charts, so I would have gotten out the next day right here. And it was done. So then the market slams down, ADX is falling, saying the previous trend is over, but here we got cotton has gone on a nice up move, but is there any there's no reason to take that trade the way I trade. I mean, the ADX isn't even turning up. So when you get in these real choppy markets that go parabolic once in a while, the ADX can sometimes not be much use, especially like from this up move. This would have been a great up move to catch if there was a way to catch it. The way I trade and with divergences and using the ADX, there was no reason for me to even be in the market after I got stopped out here. There was nothing. So I've been out of cotton ever since. And good thing, because this just gives you stomach ulcers. Okay. So I got a couple more I want to look at. And stay tuned for the next segment on the ADX.